All right, it is time to move on to the S-Wave. And today I'm actually gonna be teaching you how to create this kind of Hollywood glam with our flat and smoothing iron. Okay, so step one to this look is obviously having your client all the way dry. So if you are going to wash her first and put in your desired products, then I would just give her a nice quick blowout with your ERGO polishing paddle. Step two to this look is to choose a side. Typically, I ask my client which is their favorite side to have a deep side part on. I'm gonna choose this side right here and put that side part in and comb that hair over. Okay, so the reason that we need to establish the deep side part right off the bat is that every single curl in this set is going to move in the exact same direction. So everything on the shallow side of the part you want moving towards the face or towards the cheekbone if that's easier to think about, and everything on the deep side part where there's more hair is gonna be curled away from the face. So everything is gonna be moving in this kind of swirl pattern. Now, if the deep side part was on our opposite side, no problem. You're just gonna change the direction that you curl everything. All right, so just like the modern wave, I like to work this set from the bottom up. I'm not gonna use any setting clips. I love to save time wherever I can, and I love using the flat iron. It's gonna create a strong enough curl that I can leave it down and let it cool and set. All right, if you've never used the ERGO flat and smoothing iron, when you first get this baby in your hands, you're gonna notice right off the bat that there's 3 temperature settings on here. I have mine set to 390 for color treated hair because this mannequin has been colored. You have 420 for virgin hair, or those white unicorns out there that have not put any color on their hair. And then also lastly, 450 if you are doing any smoothing treatments behind the chair. So I have my first section here. This is about 1 inch wide, and then I'm going to subdivide. Again, every single curl in this set is moving in the same direction and towards this right cheekbone. So I'm going to go with iron up, and I'm going to put it in, and as I start to clamp down, I'm also going to start to rotate so that I don't get any creases or dents in the hair. Another little tip I have that you'll see me do is once I've curled a section, I then reinforce that curl pattern with my fingers following behind. So again, iron up, half a rotation, pull nice and slow, and then reinforce that curl with my fingers behind. So I've dropped down my next section. You can see that I'm gonna stay consistent with about 1 inch wide section there, and then a little square there. Pin, twist, pull nice and slow, follow with my hands, reinforce the curl. Okay, here we are down to the last section. That whole set, honestly, I know you guys are seeing time lapse, but it probably realistically only took me 10 minutes. And I love that I don't have to set it with pins because the flat and smoothing iron creates such a strong curl pattern when I want it to. So I'm going to direct this down a little bit because I do want this to come down on her head a little bit. Again, last section, start to pivot, pull nice and slow. Reinforce with my hands and just drop that down into her face. Now I'm gonna let this set and completely cool for at least 10 minutes. Okay, one thing I do wanna mention is you probably saw me working with the mannequin really high. This is because on video, I need her to be a little bit higher so we're about the same level. But when you are working behind the chair, please put her in a position where it's easy and comfortable and ergonomic for your arms to be putting this set in. Another little tip I have is that when you are putting this set in with the flat and smoothing iron, please, please, please make sure that each section is pre-groomed. If you have any little knots or twists in the hair before you put the flat and smoothing iron, it's just going to crimp that knot almost into that curl. Next, I'm gonna take a wide tooth comb and begin to comb this section into place. The key with this is patience. As you can see, when I started to comb, I began to reinforce that curl pattern and that kind of S-wave with my hand, with my comb. Next, I like to lock it all in with your favorite finishing spray. I use the can of the finishing spray even to smooth some of the flyaways in this look. And last little bit, I tend to want to tuck that shallow side using some form of decorative bobby pin or clip of your choice. All right, thank you so much for joining me for the modern wave and the S wave with our flat and smoothing iron. Now we have Zach coming back up to show you one of the most important tips at ERGO, and that's how to clean your brush.